Imagine a thirst so terrible, nothing you drink can quench it. No amount of water can quench this thirst. It eventually leads to body aches, dehydration, of course, and excessive lab work from your doctor. Lab work finally reveals an unbelievable disease. The CDC states that an average of 1.25 million Americans each year are diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes to be specific. As common of a disease as this is, it's unreal how little people actually know about the two different types of diabetes. The symptoms that I just explained were the symptoms of my own leading up to my 13th birthday. I was getting ready for a birthday party. Of course, as a preteen, I was excited for a sugar-filled sleepover, and those things I were excited for quickly changed. I feared living a normal life from that point on. The thoughts I had were overwhelming, and then I later found out through diabetes education that I was actually confusing the realities of type 2 diabetes with type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is completely different. The Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation explains some of the common myths that people don't understand about type 1 diabetes. It is not a contagious virus. You can't catch it from your friends. You can't catch it from something in the air. It's also not a limitation to your daily life. Type 1 diabetes does not keep you from eating those sugary desserts and enjoying your life. You just have to monitor things a little closer. While type 1 is confusing, many people also confuse type 2 diabetes as well. They think type 2 diabetes is only diagnosed in older patients, and it's just like type 1, you have to take insulin daily for everything. That is actually false too. In a book written by Dr. Peter Chase, Understanding Diabetes, he explains that type 2 diabetes is sometimes referred to as a diabetes of lifestyles. Type 2 diabetes comes from how you live your life. If you have terrible eating habits, a low level of activity, and don't take care of yourself, then yes, you can develop type 2 diabetes. That is how it is. It's based on your lifestyle. And it's being more commonly found in preteens and teenagers that are overweight, because our world sadly exhibits a more lazier lifestyle, as he also quoted in that. The truth about both of these types of diabetes is that they're very similar, but there's also very many distinctions. Type 1 diabetes is almost always diagnosed in children and young adults, usually under the age of 40. It's not even, like I said, it's not a virus. It's an autoimmune disease. Generally, people with type 1 diabetes have an islet cell allergy, meaning the cells that produce insulin in your pancreas, you're basically allergic to your own cells. And in type 2 diabetes, it, like I said, is a diabetes of lifestyles. These are both commonly confused. The Arkansas Children's Hospital has a diabetes education handbook that explains that type 1 diabetes is basically your immune system attacking your insulin producing cells. And type 2 diabetes is when your body is more resistant to the insulin because of your lifestyle. I have sent out a handout that I have here in front of me. It talks about the common facts about type 1 and type 2. Again, type 1 is a immune system attacking cells that make insulin. Your symptoms appear when your islet cells lose their ability to produce insulin. It is a lifelong condition. There is no cure for it, as we know now. With a normal diet and insulin taken responsibly, you can enjoy all the sugary snacks you want. They recommend you avoid sugary drinks because those are hard to keep your blood sugar stable. But you can still live a normal life. Type 2 diabetes is caused by your body's poor response to insulin. The symptoms appear when insulin-producing cells no longer keep up to the sugar production in your body. It's not always the only form of treatment to use insulin. Sometimes your lifestyle changes can decrease the resistance to the insulin. And it's not always a lifelong condition. If you can monitor your lifestyle and monitor your sugar intake and increase your activity level, type 2 diabetes can be curable, or treatable rather. So my advice in all of this, don't believe everything you hear. Myths regarding these illnesses can further confuse the public into thinking they think they're educated when in fact they're not. I know that had I had the proper information about this disease, I probably wouldn't have let myself get so sick before I was diagnosed. I actually now have a 4-year-old who was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in January, and she was able to seek medical treatment far sooner than I and didn't reach the sick stage. So I really think that ignorance is hurting yourself, and I hope that this information can help all that need to know, because the potential is in everybody when you really think about it.